tonight, kind of walking a little gingerly up there. I guess physically, how are you feeling right now at this moment?
You know, I'm good. My neck's a little bit tight. I think I got cranked a little bit somewhere in the transition on the ground. And my shin's a little bit sore from kicking them.
This was, you've had the setback, you had a little bit of time away. I mean, did this feel like an important night for you to get back, not just to just fight again, but obviously to get a win as well?
Honestly, I didn't want to share this, but tonight was one of those. I was like, if I lose again, I'm tired. It was one of those fights for me. I was like, if I lose 2 in a row, I lost my last fight. I was coming off a serious injury. I had a herniated disc in my C7, and I've just had bad luck. So this was the first time I've had a fight where I've been injury free. So tonight to me was kind of do or die.
That's amazing. So when you say that you had that mindset, did it just kind of set in today, or is it like your whole camp has been like that?
It was the whole camp, you know what I mean? My last fight, they're telling me to get surgery. They said I needed the same surgery Aljamain Sterling got, the same one Tristan Connolly got. And I was really scared of the surgery, so I went back to Canada, talked to my physiotherapist. He said we could naturally rehab the herniated disc just through therapy and doing physio. I did that. I went the whole camp with no injury. And tonight I just needed to make sure I performed and got that W, because if I didn't perform tonight, I felt like I was done.
That's amazing. Well, how happy are you with your performance? Because obviously you look very good in there. I know you didn't maybe get to finish, but I mean, it was a great fight.
I'm not really happy with my performance, but I'm happy I'm back in the win column. I'm happy that I got, my confidence back. I'm happy that I got a win, especially it being Black History Month. You know what I mean? That's a very important month. I do a lot of events and charity this month usually, prior to COVID. But yeah, tonight was very important for me. I wanted to also make sure I represented all the Canadians tonight as well.
Nice. Were you a little surprised maybe how durable he was? I mean, you were landing some good shots in there.
No, I wasn't surprised how durable he was. I knew he was tough. I saw he was a pressure fighter. I'm kind of mad at myself. I let him off the hook a little bit because there's a couple times I hurt him to the body, and I should have pursued that, but for some reason I didn't. But I'll look back at the tape and see what I did wrong. But that camp knows me, of course. I fought Julio Arce in the past, so they kind of knew what I was all about. And, I know they had it out for me, so, nothing but respect for Mike Triziano. He's tough. And, I want a ranked opponent next.
That's awesome. Physically, I mean, do you think you're going to need a little bit of time, with the way you're feeling, or do you think it's just something small?
Oh, no, this is something small. I just got a tight neck. I just fought 3 rounds in the UFC, you know what I mean? You're going to have a little bit of something, you know what I mean? So that's all it is, a little massage. That's it, a little massage. I'm supposed to go to Houston next week to support my fellow Pair 9 management, Israel Adesanyo's is fighting. So I might come out to Houston, set us up, and enjoy the fights. And after that, once I'm healed up, right back in action. I want to be I want to have a lot of fights this year. I want to have at least 3-4 fights this year. I want to be active. I have no excuse not to be active this year. I got no injuries, so I want to get to that top 10 and be talked about when it comes to title contenders.
Nice. Last thing for me, you said that you want a ranked opponent. Are there any names that stand out to you, or is it more like styles? I mean, do you want somebody that'll stand and bang with you, or does that matter?
It was nice to finally not have a Russian hanging off my back. You know what I mean? I fought 2 Russians back to back. And it was nice to have somebody stand with me. Of course, you know what I mean, my coach called it, Brian Bird, and actually everybody called it. It's like once you crank him a little bit, he will shoot, which he did. And he did a little shoot there, but I got right back up. And it was nice to be able to just stand up and bang. I haven't been able to do that. I feel like my last couple of fights I've been on skates because I know these guys just want to shoot on me. So it was nice to be with a striker.
Congrats on the big win, my man. Now that you can, be open about it and let us know what's really going on, what, if anything, what restrictions did you have? What did it hinder you, or maybe put you in a laser focus to have that unique training camp off of that injury?
Say that again?
With that, now that you can talk about it, with the issue, the injury and the hernia and all that, how did that affect your camp? How did that affect your mental? And what did you do to tweak it and still come forward and make it to this event?
Well, my last fight, I didn't even know that my disc was herniated till after the fight. I just thought I put my neck out. It was, your typical wrestling, jiu-jitsu injury, but it wasn't going away. My right arm got really skinny and weak. I lost a lot of strength in my right arm. So I was on bed rest for like 2 months, and then I trained the last 3-4 weeks for that fight and took the fight. And then after the fight, I went to the UFC PI, and then they did the MRI on me, and that's when they told me that my disc was herniated. And by that time, the herniation was already going down. So I just went to physio and did a lot of neck exercises, a lot of stuff to heal it. And then I took another MRI to get cleared to make sure that the herniation actually went away. And once the herniation went away, that's when I took this fight, and I had a full training camp, no injuries, no problem. And yeah, you know, as long as I've been really strict with my physio and making sure I'm healthy, I feel even better than I did before. So there was no restrictions at this fight camp. It was just training.
And you know, to that point, you looked tremendous tonight. That was, you know, just 15 minutes of you just firing on all cylinders. And you just mentioned possibly hanging them up, but now you want those 4 fights. How good did it feel to exercise these demons and get that back into the winning column?
No, it was really good. You know, like when you I was on a 5-fight winning spree. In my last fight, I fought that Russian, and he was, sorry, my nose is bleeding. But he was like a backpack on me. He was just hanging off my back, and he didn't really hurt me at all. But he was just hanging off my back, and it was frustrating to lose like that, especially being on a 5-fight winning spree. So tonight, I was able to get my confidence back, and I would love to run that back with Masvidal in a 5-round fight, because I did have him hurt in the 3rd round, and I did have him running, and I did see him fading. So I'd love to run that fight back.
Excellent. Well, look forward to that rematch if you can get it. And nonetheless, congrats on the win, my man.
Thank you very much. I want to say a big shout out to everybody back in Canada supporting me, and a big shout out to everybody following Black History Month. You know what I mean? All my fellow brothers and sisters, I support you, and thanks for tuning in.